Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we are coming to you with a little bit of a different look as we are heading to the Western Conference. And right off the bat, we've already got a little bit of some fisticuffs. It looks like Tyler Myers, Luke Evangelista, and I'm not sure who the other guy is. So anyway, thank you for joining us here on a beautiful, depending on when you're watching this, either afternoon, night, morning. Thank you for watching us. And yeah, like I said, tonight it's a Western Conference matchup between the Nashville Predators and the Vancouver Canucks. This series is pretty simple, at least to this point. Is Thatcher Demko playing or not? And going into this series, I was kind of duped. I really thought Thatcher Demko was going to be healthy, and it wasn't going to be an issue, but it looks like it is an issue. Thatcher Demko is not in for games 2 and 3. Game 2, we knew that Thatcher Demko wouldn't be in pretty much the day of. Casey DeSmith gives up the first shot in the first game, and it seems like the tide has shifted a little bit toward Nashville. And especially going down to Nashville, you would think that this series would favor the Nashville Predators, except the Vancouver Canucks in Game 3 down in Nashville score 2 power play goals, one of them being Brock Besser's goal. So it's one of those things now where looking at this series, it kind of looked like it should be Nashville's series to win with Casey DeSmith in. That might not necessarily be the case. It seems like the power play for the Canucks is paying off in dividends here. And thank you for joining us, Urban. Yeah, Demko is out for the playoffs. Yeah, I've heard that if they made it to the Western Conference Finals, that the earliest we could see him play. But at that point, if you're getting to the Western Conference Finals, you're going to run with whatever goalie Vancouver has at that point. It doesn't even make sense to throw Thatcher Demko in at that point. Yeah, Brock Besser. Yes, Brock Besser got the big goal there. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Alright, that should be a little bit better. I looked a little bit scary with the lighting, so hopefully that fixes it. And now it's fixing the hat. I want everything to look a little bit nicer for you guys. Alright. So basically the recap, if you haven't been watching, if you haven't been keeping up with the latest on the NHL, the Tampa Bay Lightning find themselves down 3-0 to the Florida Panthers. I'm not surprised the Panthers were going to win, right? I had them going to the Eastern Conference Final. I just didn't expect them to sweep the Tampa Bay Lightning, which is on the table. That should be happening either Saturday or Sunday night. That game will be happening. So that is crazy that we're looking at a scenario where the Tampa Bay Lightning could get swept in the first round of the playoffs. I was not expecting that. The Islanders are also on the verge. Tomorrow, I'm going to confirm it now. We will be live streaming at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'll be announcing that officially tomorrow morning, but I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern for the Islanders and the Hurricanes. That is probably going to be the last game for the Islanders, so I'd like to do one of those games for the Islanders and Hurricanes series, so that's the game we're going to do. And you know what? I figured, you guys have been subscribing to the channel. You guys have been motivating the shit out of me here. I'm actually going to be live streaming a doubleheader tomorrow. So we're going to be doing the 2 p.m. game for the Islanders and the Hurricanes. The game starts at 2. We'll be live streaming at 4 o'clock. And then we're going to be doing another live stream for the 8 o'clock game. For the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs, we'll be live streaming at 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night for the Bruins and the Leafs Game 4 in Toronto. Thank you, Mac and Steez. Thank you. I love your channel. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. So we'll be doing a doubleheader tomorrow. So thank you guys to all of you subscribing to the channel, joining. Bless you, Dustin. Bless you. Also going on right now, there's only one other game in action at the moment. It's the Capitals and the Rangers. The Rangers have a 3-1 lead over the Caps here in the third period. They just dropped the puck a couple minutes ago, And it looks like the Rangers are on their way, at least to this point. Looks like the Rangers are going for the sweep here in Washington. It looks like they're going to take a 3-0 lead in this series. So yeah, really the big storyline in this series was maybe the lack of scoring production from Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser, right? Those guys weren't getting on the board. We finally see a goal here from Besser, very promising. The scary thing is, it's going to be when Pettersson gets on his game. That is going to be the one where, oh crap, we're in trouble, right? So Pettersson gets his first point of the playoffs in the first period with a power play goal by JT Miller. JT Miller gets on the board. That's his first goal of this series. So again, these guys are starting to come together. That is not going to be good news for the rest of the Predators here, because it's one of those things where if I am looking at the Nashville Predators, right, this is a team that's developing. They're coming into their own, and so is Vancouver. But with the shifting in the dynamic with the goaltending, it's starting to really favor Nashville if they could play 5-on-5. And I said that going into this series. The Vancouver Canucks are very opportunistic. If you give them power plays like we're seeing in this game here, already 2 power play goals for the Canucks, this is going to be a really difficult series for the Predators. And you're finding yourselves down 2-0 in the second period. There's not a ton for the fans to cheer for down there in Nashville. They're probably going to throw the catfish on the ice in the third period. But I don't know if that's going to be enough for this team because they have a great goalie in Saros. But where is that goal scoring coming from on this team? That's going to be the real difference here for the Predators, whether they can make this a game or not in the third period. We're the Hurricane fans. I'm not sure what this message is. It's I have like a weird thing in the way. I wish I could read your message there, Mac and Steez, but I will in a second once the chat goes down a little bit. I mean, one thing that Vancouver really made an emphasis to change was kind of making their team bigger, right? You have Tyler Myers in there. I mean, Vasily Podkolzin isn't really like a physical presence, but he is a big guy, Vasily Podkolzin. And of course, Nikita Zadorov, who is known as that type of tough guy, right? What are your thoughts on Hurricanes fans? I like Hurricane fans. And you know what? Shout out to the Hurricane fans here at Goal Line Hockey, because I gave the fan base and the franchise some critiques the other day, and they stuck around. So shout out to the Canes fans that have been around for a while and understand what I was trying to say in that video. I'm not taking anything that I said back, but it's more so I just think it's understanding that there was some things said from that fan base that they needed to be held accountable for, and I just had to mention it. And it's never one of those things where a lot of people took it as I said every Hurricanes fan is a bad fan and they don't know hockey. That's not what I said. It's more so they tend to have fans in higher amounts than others that say some pretty crappy things. And it really frustrated me. And when you start throwing 9/11 jokes and, I mean, kind of going after the New York demographic, saying they're all fat New Yorkers, I'm not in that category, so I'm going to tell you right now. So obviously that's not completely true. But nonetheless, it's one of those things that it is kind of funny to see how people from the outside look at you. I think a part of the issue with the Hurricanes, like resentment toward the Islanders and the Rangers, is a lot of those people are New York transplants, and it's maybe something that they just don't like New York and New York City and that whole area in particular because they left it. So, I don't know. It's one of those things where I just think there's a lot of factors involved other than them just being Hurricanes fans. But yeah, that video did really well last week. So I'm really happy that the Hurricanes fans gave their opinion. They're allowed to voice their opinion. I didn't block any comments, anything that wasn't like favorable to me. I love that. I love that because that's good feedback. And it's something that I consider in the future. And listen, we all grow from it. Hopefully they grow from it. I grow from it. And that's all it is, right? So hopefully that answered your question there, Mac and Steez. A great name, by the way. I really do like that. So shots on goal so far, 18 for the Canucks, 16 for the Predators. The fewest in a playoff game in 12 years, which is 19 combined tonight. So that is crazy. 20 shots on net, and we are almost at the end of the second period. And the crazier thing is the Canucks have 2 goals on 8 shots. So that is very telling of just, again, opportunistic. The Vancouver Canucks are an extremely opportunistic team. They don't need a ton of opportunities. It's the quality of the opportunities, and they've been taking advantage of it. Barzal or Aho, who's better? That's a crap question, honestly. But I'm going to tell you straight up right now, in terms of who I'd want in a playoff series as my center, I'm going to go with Sebastian Aho. The other factor I will say, and maybe this is cheating, Matt Barzal is injured. He got injured in the last game of the season against the Pittsburgh Penguins. He got hit into the boards pretty hard, and he just wasn't healthy after that. So as much as Barzal's getting criticism, rightfully so, he's not playing well, he is injured. I'm fully expecting at some point this week, whether it's after tomorrow night or Monday or whenever the Islanders end up losing the series, I am fully expecting Barzal to have an injury update for us, and I just hope he's ready for the fall. Yeah, so this is good. Both teams are playing chippy, and this is a very underrated series in my opinion. I think Vancouver-Nashville, if Thatcher Demko was healthy, I would be even more excited about this series. The fact that Demko isn't playing hurts it a little bit, in my opinion. I think it diminishes some of the value of this series. Just seeing the head-to-head between Saros and Demko, I think we're being robbed of a great opportunity there. But it is what it is. That's what happens in hockey, right? Yeah, so they're kind of talking about Artur Silovs and Casey DeSmith, which that's tough. Those guys are in a really tough situation here. And at least it's not like a team like Colorado or Winnipeg that the Canucks have to play. Like, they won their division. They're getting rewarded with an easier opponent, if I can even say that. And I feel like that's taking away respect from the Predators, but they're an easier opponent than the Avalanche or the Golden Knights or Dallas, right? So if I had to pick a team for the Canucks to play against without their top goalie, Nashville would probably be one of those teams. Do you think the Hurricanes will beat the Rangers? I mean, both those teams got to get past their first round series, right? We just found out some news earlier today about the Hurricanes. One of them former Rangers. The other one, I'm not surprised if he ended up being a Ranger at some point. Jesper Fast, he is out for the entirety of the playoffs. Rod Brindamore has been asked basically every press conference, when is Jesper Fast coming back? When is Jesper Fast coming back? He's not coming back. Stop asking the question. He is out for the remainder of the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. So he is done. He's out. That's it for Jesper Fast. Now, the other guy, Brett Pesce, he's out for the rest of the series against the Islanders. Whether that ends tomorrow on Saturday, or it ends on Monday, or whenever it ends, we will not see Brett Pesce. So if Brett Pesce is back and healthy for that series, that's going to help out the Carolina Hurricanes. But Freddie Anderson's got to be better. He did not have a great series against the Islanders. The Islanders didn't put a ton of rubber on him, and he gave up a couple of goals that, he made some good saves, but he also gave up some where you're like, if that's against the Rangers, you're not getting away with that. he's got to be a little bit better, especially in that series against the Rangers, if that is indeed the matchup that results, which at this point it does. But again, we like to wait for formalities around here, right? Because you never know. Canes losing to either Florida or Vegas. So my prediction was that Carolina would go to the Cup final to play Dallas, and obviously that's not looking so hot right now because the Dallas Stars might not get out of the first round with the way the Vegas Golden Knights are playing. And I would like to see, at this point, I'd honestly be content with seeing Vegas and Florida go back to the Cup final. As much as that might upset people, I'm kind of okay with that. I like Nashville. I like Barry Trotz. I like that whole situation with the Islander connection. So I'd love to see Nashville go on a run. I don't know. Yeah, the West bracket is all messed up. And I did predict that Vegas was... I mean, a lot of people thought Colorado was going to have an easier time with Winnipeg. I don't think people really watched Winnipeg this year. The Jets were really good. And I was able to watch them in person earlier this year, which helped. They're a good hockey team. The difference between this year's Jets and other years is they're fast and they're big. They've always been a big team. They haven't always been a fast team. And it seems like Rick Bowness in there is just the perfect coach. Hellebuck is Hellebuck. And he's not even playing that well right now in the series. And they're still finding ways to win. So that is very promising. I think if Hellebuck gets into form, goddamn, that's going to be a really... They have everything else firing on all cylinders there in Winnipeg. They just need the good goaltending from Hellebuck, which I really didn't think would be an issue going into the playoffs, but that's why it's the playoffs. It's a different season, right? So here we go. We're about to finish up the second period. It's a 2-0 lead for the Canucks. What are your guys' thoughts so far on this game with the Canucks and the Predators? You know, to be honest with you, I was kind of expecting the Canucks to bounce back after Game 2. I got Carolina losing to Vegas. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. I could see Vegas repeating. I wouldn't even be upset by that. I like the Vegas Golden Knights. Probably to my own detriment, I don't have hatred for the Golden Knights. As much as people hate the whole Mark Stone thing and things like that, I get it. But I'm okay with that. No, I don't have it. So just in between periods, we're watching the Capitals and the Rangers. I actually had Ranger fans going onto my live stream from the last Rangers Capitals, and they're saying, why aren't you live streaming the game? So shout out to the Rangers fans, man. I got to give credit where it's due. I will be doing... My plan was to do Game 4, because if this is an elimination game, right, we're not going to do this game. We'll do the next game. That was kind of my mentality with that. So... And I figured it was a 7:30 start time for Nashville, Vancouver. So instead of staying up till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night doing a Vancouver Canucks Predator stream, that obviously these videos don't do as well as my Rangers or Leafs or Bruins or Islanders videos. They just don't do as well. So that's why if people are looking back and watching the replay of this, that's the reason I don't really do Western Conference games. It's late for me. I get up early every morning. I get up like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I get up early. It's late. And the viewership just really isn't there for these types of games, unfortunately. That's just the reality of it. So. Can you stop him?
What's he doing?
He's licking, and I don't know if they could hear him licking on the stream.
Doesn't come. Doesn't come.
I picked Vegas opening day to repeat. Yeah, it does look good right now, Urban. I think I would not be at all surprised if Vegas repeated. And then they added Noah Hannafin. Like, that team is sick this year. And let me know down below, guys, if you are watching the replay, put in the comments section that you're watching the replay, because I want to know how many of you guys actually watch the replays. So... So the Capitals have 7 shots on net here in the third. The Rangers have 0. So all the pressure from the Capitals here. Let's see if they can make it a 1-goal game. Make this interesting. Oh, yeah, they can hear him. Yeah. Yeah, my dog is obsessed with licking. I don't know if it's because he's overheating or... We've looked up everything. It says sometimes they say if your dog licks a lot, it means they're happy. Sometimes it means they're bored or anxious. So it literally could be anything. So I don't know.
It's just a little bit.
Dustin's been in a couple videos in the past. It's just too loud for the stream though, Ange.
Dustin, come here.
Dustin, you want to say hi? Come here. You want to say hi to everybody? Come here.
Get mad at you.
He might get mad. Yeah. He just growled at me earlier. Come here. You want to show the people your face or your camera shy? Come here.
Pick up his
Normally,
arms. He won't jump.
He's going to bite me in the face. I'm not doing that again.
Just grab his arm.
Come here. Come here. You want the people want to see you, Dustin. Come here, buddy. Come here.
It's okay.
You can jump up. Normally, I don't want you jumping up, but in this case, you're allowed
This is
to.
the trick.
Yeah, he wants pets. He doesn't. He's
Just
camera
maybe
shy.
put the string down so you can see him.
Yeah, but that's going to ruin the magic. Then they could see the background thing. I don't want them seeing that.
See it anyway.
Not in this screen.
Just pick him up by his foot.
I'm not picking him up. He's grumpy. He's going to growl at me again. I'm not letting him do that. That works too. No, just one.
The cookies are over there. Go the
Yeah,
other
I got to
way.
start talking about hockey or these people are going to leave. Come here, buddy.
Go. He's got the cookies over there.
No, other way, buddy. That's not what I wanted you to do. Can you see him? He's like just missing it. There you go. You can see him real quick. Jeez, you can bite my hand off. Good boy, buddy.
Can you do anything?
Yeah, he tried growling at me earlier, so I got to be careful with him. He's a troublemaker, just like me. All right, so 7:50 left in the third period. 2-goal lead for the Rangers. At this point, I mean, the Capitals have given a decent amount here. I just think Shesterkin is just the better goalie here. You know, Lindgren gave up a couple goals earlier in the game that probably shouldn't have gone in, and you know, it doesn't give the Capitals much of a chance here. That's a difficult situation to come back from. Rangers defense looks pretty good. They're winning puck battles. That's pretty good. You know, that was something I noticed the other day with the Islanders. The Islanders weren't winning the puck battles the other night, and I did unfortunately go to that game at UBS. That was tough to watch. The Islanders just don't have it this year. Do you think the Sabres are a poverty franchise? I don't think they're a poverty franchise. I think they treat themselves like a poverty franchise. But I wouldn't classify them as a poverty franchise, no. Kemper getting back up with that contract after winning a cup 2 years ago. Yeah, Kemper's been a weird guy, right? Because obviously he wins the cup with Colorado. He gets the big deal with the Capitals, and he kind of fell off after that. Urban, I think you got to stay tuned for the video I have. I'm going to be posting a franchise breakdown of the Arizona Coyotes, what led to the team leaving. I have a bunch of videos posted for this week you guys are going to really enjoy. One of them is on the Coyotes. I think there was a lot of wasted potential with the Coyotes. I think they're a better team. I think if they had ownership, a stable building, and a legit core fan base that knew the team was going to be there and it was worth investing in, I think it could work in Arizona. Call me crazy for that. But I think they just have not had that combination of stable ownership, stable building, and the ability to grow that fan base that wants to invest in that asset of the team. And, you know, people just don't think that it was going to work because the perception was out there that it wasn't going to work. I think the Islanders could have beat the Rangers if they played in the first round. I think the problem with the Islanders was the Carolina Hurricanes were the worst possible matchup for the Islanders. And, it's like a joke in my family. Whenever the Islanders play the Hurricanes, it's like, okay, you probably want to sell those tickets because the game's going to end 3-2, 2-1. Carolina scores the first 1 or 2 goals early. They sit on the lead. The Islanders might come back and make it interesting, but they ultimately lose. That is exactly what happened in Game 3. In an ugly fashion, but that is exactly what happened. So this is what the Hurricanes do against the Islanders. They just have the Islanders' number for whatever reason. The last 4 or 5 years under Brendan Moore, he just knows how to play the Islanders' system, and they just do it better. They do the Islanders' system against them, and better. And it's tough to win that way when the other team has just more skill than you. So that's going to do it for tonight, guys. We're going to do a shorter stream today. Like I said, tomorrow is going to be double. Going to be double streaming, so it's going to be a long night tomorrow. We don't have a ton of people in here. I kind of expected it. Nashville, Vancouver, just there's not much appeal there. And to answer your question real quick, Mac and Steez, do you go to the AHL games? Hold on a second. I have something to show you. Actually, I have 2 things to show you. So unfortunately, I threw out my Bridgeport Sound Tigers shirt, which is killing me because now they're no longer the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. But now that you mentioned the AHL, Hershey Bears, baby. It's the Hershey Bears because the Bridgeport Islanders, A, they changed the name from the Sound Tigers to the Islanders. I haven't gone to a game since they changed to the Islanders, A. And B, they suck. And the Hershey Bears are on top again. They are playing so well right now. They won 52 of their 72 games during the regular season. And it's funny you bring up the AHL right now because I was debating this week making a video talking about the AHL playoffs. I don't know if there's enough of appeal there. And to be honest with you, there's so much news going on NHL-wise that I'd rather cover. I've been covering all the NHL stuff and kind of neglecting the AHL stuff. If you guys would like, if enough of you reach out to me and say, hey, Kev, you know what? If you post an AHL video kind of discussing each round as like a highlights of the round, I would do that for you guys. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. Because I do follow the AHL a little bit. Again, it's hard because I don't have AHL TV. I'm not going to buy that stuff. It's not worth it. But I used to be able to stream the games on TV, on the streaming services. Used to be able to do that. No longer allowed. They banned it. So, unfortunately, I don't watch the AHL anymore. Utah playoffs draft. Yeah, that's pretty much Urban. That is it right now. And again, you're gonna see that with my videos. I have 2 videos on Macklin Celebrini, 3 videos on Utah coming up the next couple of days, and of course the playoffs, right? And I already have Sunday morning potentially being the eulogy for the Islanders and the Lightning, depending on how things go tomorrow. I don't want to jinx anything, but if the Islanders and the Lightning or one of those two gets eliminated, I'm already slotting one of them getting eliminated Saturday. So Sunday morning, that'll be the elimination video, and you guys are kind of getting the behind the scenes of my mind here. I have a Penguins video coming out. I just posted the Red Wings video today. That didn't do so well. If you haven't checked that out, make sure to check that out. We have a whole bunch of videos kind of coming in here. There's one I think you guys are going to really like. I talked about Utah, right? So I talked about the finalists for the team names, my thoughts on the final team names that were discussed in their bracket. I think you guys are going to like that. And I also did a video on, nobody's really talking about this right now, but what if Utah gets Macklin Celebrini? If the 7th overall odds for the first overall pick, which Arizona currently holds, what if they move up and draft first overall? Will Utah be the most hated NHL team right off the bat? I think they might be, right? Yeah, I'm trying to do a full final mock draft video once I get to it. I'm probably going to wait till the end of the draft lottery to truly make a mock draft. I'm still trying to figure out all the prospects. A lot of guys have moved around. It's really, I know Macklin Celebrini and Cole Iserman. But Cole Iserman might not even be a first-round pick now, from what I've been hearing recently. So the draft boards are changing a lot. There's a lot of good young defensemen in this year's draft. That's been the big thing I've heard. There's going to be a very deep top 4 defensive potential defensemen in this first round of the draft. So even if you have, let's say you have the 10th and the 20th, between the 10th and the 20th pick, there's probably not going to be a huge gap between those players, but those players are going to be higher caliber, but there won't be a huge separation between them, if that makes sense. What's going on, Willie? Willie Snyder, thank you for joining us. So like I said, definitely stay tuned. I'll be posting those videos over the next couple of days. And there's 3.5 minutes left in this game between the Rangers and Capitals and a delayed penalty. So the Capitals are going to go on the PK with 3 minutes left. Beck Mellenstein, former Hershey Bear, he's going to the sin bin. He's going to the box. Damn. So Mallenstein got dumped, but was holding on to Miller, so he gets the penalty. That's a tough call, man. I don't like that. You don't call that with 3 minutes left in the game. That isn't even a true penalty, in all honesty. Oof. I'm sorry. I can't even... I keep saying I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be. It's not a penalty. Oof. That's tough. I picked the Canucks to win this series in 6. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good series. I'm just worried with Thatcher Demko not being there, Willie. I think that's going to be a real problem for them. And I kind of mentioned that earlier. With Casey DeSmith and Artur Silovs, that's going to be a tough series to win. Because UC Saros is a good goalie. And if he's on his game, that's not going to be fun for the rest of the series for the Canucks. But the Canucks are scoring on him. They're getting power play goals, right? 2 power play goals so far. That's very promising. And I think I did the same thing as you, Willie. I think I put the Canucks winning this in 6 games. But again, that was also with a healthy Demko. So now I'm still kind of questioning if they could win this in 6. Maybe they split here, right? They win one of these 2. They win Game 5 at home, and then they win Game 6, right? And that seems possible if they won Game 3. They lose Game 4, they win Game 5. Maybe they win Game 6, make it, and then that's it, right? Fork in the Caps. Yeah, pretty much, Urban, pretty much. Add them to the list. The Islanders, the Lightning, and the Capitals all down 3-0 in their series. It's going to be interesting to see which of those comes out, at least who is able to make that the longest series, right? Yeah, Willie. I think the key right now, Willie, is the fact they haven't given up that goal. They didn't give up that early goal to the Predators. Vegas and Nashville are places those are destination locations I want to travel for road games. I've heard so many good things. Every time you listen to them on like TV and stuff, it's crazy. But that's usually if the home team gets that early goal. The fact that Vancouver scored the goal in the first period, kept the Predators at bay for 40 minutes so far, that's really impressive. And a huge bounce back for Casey DeSmith. And this was a guy that was kind of left for dead in Pittsburgh, right? Comes over to Vancouver just kind of like as a third goalie, really. Second, third goalie. He's really made a mark in this game. And hopefully during this series, he's able to do that a little bit more. And then they're kind of talking about tonight's games on the West. We have the Winnipeg Jets at the Colorado Avalanche. That game is at 10 p.m. tonight. That series is tied 1-1. And then at 10:30, it's the Los Angeles Kings hosting the Edmonton Oilers for game number 3 out in Los Angeles, California. That's going to be a really good series. Andrei Kopitar with the game winner in overtime the other day. That was a really good game overall. Kind of a tough ending for the Oilers. They thought it was an icing. Evander Kane kind of had his hand up in the air like it was a delayed icing. The puck keeps going. Kopitar gets it, and that's it. Game over. He gets the OT winner. Buffalo has a great crowd, but what are they missing? Goalie and a true captain. I couldn't have said that better. Absolutely. I think if UPL can become, or Devin Levi, whoever it is, one of those two becomes a starter and a really good goalie, that could be huge. And yeah, they need a captain. They need a guy that can settle that room. And someone that's really doing well right now with the Florida Panthers is Kyle Oposo. Kyle Oposo is that type of player that the Buffalo Sabres are going to instantly need to bring back. Now, here's the one that I'm going to say that maybe people agree or disagree with. I think Patrick Kane's going to end his career with the Buffalo Sabres. That's his hometown team. Grew up in Buffalo. He played for the Rangers, played for the Red Wings, played for the Blackhawks. He's played for the original 6 teams. He's gotten his cups. He's definitely gotten his money for sure. I think this is a situation where he could come to Buffalo and kind of keep everybody in place. And when there's things that maybe he doesn't necessarily agree with, he's going to say no. Like, we're doing it this way. Like, I'm going to the Hall of Fame. My marker's just sitting there, right? It's one of those things where, what's the best way to put this? Inevitably when he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So when he comes into the room, he's going to have a certain aura that maybe some of the younger players in Buffalo don't have. And you're hoping that maybe some of that swagger and experience will rub off on some of them. And I think that Patrick Kane could do that for them. Saros was out in 2022 when the Avs torched them in 4. I'm an Avs fan, by the way. Oh, okay. Okay, Willie. Yeah, so your game is later. What are your thoughts on Georgiev? I'd love to know because, the first game was so bad. And then the second game, he really flipped the switch and really improved his game. I don't know. I'm still not sold on Georgiev. Maybe it was just a bounce-back game. I'd still take Hellebuck, in all honesty, during a series. But he really held his own in Game 3. So that's official. So now it is a 3-1 win for the Rangers. The first Rangers goalie to win 3 starts of the postseason. There you go. There it is for Igor Shesterkin. And now the Rangers have a 3-0 lead in this series. Yeah, I don't see the Capitals coming back from that. It's too much, I think, for them. So back to the Canucks and the Predators. Do they have the cap room? Yeah, that's the question too, Urban, right? Do they have the cap room? It's going to be one of those things where if Patrick Kane wants to play in Buffalo, he's going to have to take a lower contract. And I don't know if that's going to happen. If not, he might just end up retiring. I could also very much see that for Patrick Kane. He's not at his best. He didn't have a great end to his season with the Red Wings. Really, most of the year, Patrick Kane wasn't as good as everybody kind of advertised. I wonder if he's the type of player that when he knows he's declining, he's just going to hang up the skates gracefully before kind of having the skates removed from him and nobody wants him anymore. Whoa. So did you guys see I think earlier in the game, Michael McCarron ran at UC Soros? Oh no, excuse me, other way around. Michael McCarron ran at Casey DeSmith behind the net. I don't know if any of you guys saw that. I didn't watch the first period of this game, but if any of you saw, let me know down below if you did see that, because it did look a little bit cheap. It looked like a cheap shot, in my opinion. Potential sweeps of Tampa, Islanders, Washington, and Dallas. Yeah, Dallas. I know, Urban, I know. That is one that definitely gets you excited because you do not like the Stars. But, yeah, I mean, that's the Stanley Cup playoffs. It is so unpredictable. Canucks almost made it 3-0 here to start the third. UC Saros' best friend there, the post, bailed them out. It is eerily quiet right now at Bridgestone Arena. I have not seen this building this quiet for a playoff game in a really long time. And kind of shout out to the Canucks for that because, yeah, Casey DeSmith is playing well. Right, he's had to make 19 saves here, but the Canucks defense has not given any real quality opportunities here to the Predators. He is inconsistent. I watched him against Sorokin, and they both had a 1 save percentage, and Rodriguez won the shootout. Then 2 games later, he gave up 12 goals to Philly and Arizona. Yeah, that's the thing with Georgiev, right? He's very inconsistent. That's kind of what I've heard about him, yes. I wonder if Kane goes up to like $6 million or more like 8 to 9. I could see Kane taking 6 to go somewhere he wants to go. I think he could take $6 million per year. And maybe that sounds a little crazy. What if he ended up going to Tampa? How scary would that be? Kucherov, Stamkos, Kane? I don't know where they'd get the money for that one, but oh man, that would piss off a lot of people if he did that. Oh my God. Ian Cole almost put the puck in his own net. Great save by DeSmith, though. Holy. So the schedule for tomorrow, guys. The schedule for tomorrow is, and this isn't even the updated score. It's 3-0 Canucks. Just to show you guys kind of what we're looking at for the rest of this weekend. So let's head to Saturday. So obviously, 2 o'clock, Islanders Hurricanes. We'll be live streaming that game at 4 p.m. We're going to do the third period of that game. Panthers Lightning. Again, Lightning and Islanders both have their backs against the wall on elimination. And then we're also going to be live streaming Boston Toronto. That's going to be the later game. We'll be live streaming that one at like 9:30. So that's our schedule for tomorrow. And I'm starting to figure out the schedule for Sunday, but I don't want to announce that yet to you guys. We're going to see how tomorrow night goes first. So, also, I want to give a shout out to everybody for subscribing to the channel. We've gained 60 subscribers in the past like 3 weeks, which is like 20 subscribers a week. Just to put that in perspective, I think the first 16 weeks of this year, I don't think I gained a single subscriber. The channel was just stagnant. And now, all of a sudden, the past 3 or 4 weeks, 60 subscribers. So, honestly, thank you guys so much. You guys have no idea how much it means to me. I have been doing this channel since 2018. if you look back to my old videos, I've changed so much over this channel. I've invested so much into this channel, and I really like seeing some of you guys that have been in here since the beginning, since my first live stream. It's incredible. You guys are awesome, and of course to the newer subscribers, hopefully you enjoy this channel and you continue to come back, because it's awesome. It's awesome seeing new guys in here. We've got a couple of new fans here and there. We have Avalanche fans, we have Wild fans, we have Panthers fans, Rangers fans, Hurricane fans, all you guys. It's incredible that we're able to do this. And my philosophy of this channel, as much as there's a bias toward the Islanders, I try to be as unbiased as possible. And the fact I have Devils fans and Flyers and Penguins and even Hurricane and Ranger fans saying that I have good quality content and analysis, that goes such a long way. Because that means that if there's if I was really bashing on these teams, they wouldn't have people watching me. So I must be doing something right. And I really do appreciate that. So we miss Pavel Francouz. Yes, didn't he just retire? I think Francouz just retired, right, Willie? Sergachev is still out for Tampa, right? Let me check that, Urban. Yeah, he's still out. And that's the other thing too, right? Because now you've got Darren Radish alongside Hedman. Nick Perbix is on the second pair. And now Emil Lielberg is on your third pair. That is not the typical Tampa Bay Lightning defense. That is a weaker Tampa defense than we've seen in a long time. And against the Florida Panthers, that's not going to cut it. The Florida Panthers are way too good. Jets would be scared if we still had Frankie. Yeah. We just hit 270 on my channel, and we have been streaming for over 2 years. That's awesome, Willie. Go check out Willie's channel. Yeah, it takes a long time to grow on YouTube. I mean, it is a grind, and I've gone months of making... I think I went like 8 months in a row of making a video every single day. It's a grind. And if you're willing to do it, it's definitely worth it. The rewards of it are incredible, but it definitely takes a lot. It's a lot of work, and for what you really get in return, it's really more so just, it's more just for yourself than the monetary, right? So yeah, it looks like if that's the case, so you're telling me all 3 games tomorrow. Okay, so there is Dallas-Vegas at 10:30. Okay. So 3 of the 4 games are going to be Eastern Conference opponents, and then you've got Dallas and Vegas. So and I'll show you that to you guys real quick, just so you guys know what tomorrow's schedule is going to entail. That's your 4 games for tomorrow. There you go. I can't put the time for the Islander Hurricane game, but it's 2 p.m. Islanders Hurricanes. So there you go. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching this stream. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern for some more live streams. We're going to be doing the Islanders and the Hurricanes, 4 o'clock. And then we're going to be doing the Bruins and the Leafs at 9 o'clock. We're not going to do the beginning of the game, so don't look for the stream in the beginning of the game. We're going to go for the later parts of the game, and we're going to go from there. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you